Hello! Have you ever liked a job in the beginning and then different stressors caused you to burn out and not want to work at the job anymore? Well, stressors are actually very common within the workplace, and they affect most people at some point in their career. Although in my most recent job, stressors caused me to burn out and not want to continue working there, I would like to recommend some practical solutions to reduce the rates of burnout in this case. The job that I'm going to use for this case is my most recent job, being a lifeguard and manager at the Woodland Country Club of Carmel. My official title was the pool manager. I was in charge of scheduling, overseeing all the guards at my pool, lifeguarding, and also addressing any concerns that the patrons had throughout the season. Some key points that led to my burnout included always having to be 100% alert as a lifeguard. I had to keep everyone safe at all times, and sometimes the pool had as many as 200 people. It had tiring tasks, which were out in the heat all day for over 40 hours a week. And also, lifeguarding can be considered emotional work because there are genuine emotions present when you are trying to help people, save people, or prevent injuries. The specific organizational situation that I'm going to analyze is a very serious incident that happened at my pool this past summer. For some background, my pool opened up around 11 a.m. every day, so I would start my shift as the manager each day at 10:30. So I had time to do all of the opening duties prior to the patrons arriving. Somewhat regularly, one or two swim coaches would stay after their early morning swim practices and get a workout in themselves, and then they would finish up before I arrived at the pool at 10:30. One Tuesday morning, a swim coach actually had a heart attack in the water and sadly passed away on the spot. We were not aware of this and did not find him until about an hour after his passing due to him being there prior to the pool opening. In this process, there was an enormous amount of stress present as myself and two other guards, who were only 15 and 16, had to rush over and pull him out of the water and then perform CPR for around 30 minutes. This whole situation caused so much stress and emotional trauma to each of us. After this, the pool was simply too stressful of a place, and I was constantly stressed and on edge. So it was not good for my overall health to be there. Now, the first key concept that can be applied to my organization is stressors. This can be described as events or actions that cause strain or tension to the employee while they're in the workplace. Some examples of this can include a heavy workload, role conflict, role ambiguity, life events, or home or work conflict. This connects to my particular case because there were several stressors that were present in this job, as well as some areas where my organization did poorly. The pool incident with the swim coach was the most evident stressor I ever encountered while working there. My organization could have better prepared for this situation by having better communication with the swim coaches and, in turn, not allowing them to swim unattended prior to the pool opening. That overall is just a safety hazard for anyone. Another common stressor that was present in my case was always having to be alert and focused for long periods of time out in the heat. A final stressor that was evident in this particular case was the stress of dealing with all the different patrons each day. Everyone has a different personality type, and that can be very stressing to deal with for over 40 hours a week in this particular job. Next, the second main concept that can be applied to my organization is burnout. This can be described as no longer having a desire to complete a task or job due to the amount of stress the job requires. This is comprised of three components: emotional exhaustion, cynicism, and reduced professional efficacy. This connects to my personal case because all of the stresses at the pool eventually led to my burnout and me no longer wanting to work there at all. My mental and physical health were drained, and I was so stressed going to work every day after the incident that it was negatively impacting my health. This burnout definitely left me feeling depersonalized and tired in every way. My organization could have done better in this situation by allotting a longer recovery period after my incident, rather than having to return to work 2 days later like I did. Now, I would like to present one recommendation or communicative strategy that could be used to reduce burnout in this case. It involves participation in decision making. According to Miller, the author of the 7th edition of Organizational Communication, Approaches and Processes, published in 2015, this application in decision-making not only reduces burnout, but it also improves both worker satisfaction and overall productivity. leading to why this implementation of is becoming increasingly popular in the workplace today. Also, according to Jackson, the author of a journal article called Participation in Decision Making as a Strategy for Reducing Job-Related Strain, published in the Journal of Applied Psychology in 1983, this participation in decision making also reduces role conflict and role ambiguity, and has been seen to drastically improve the environment of the overall workplace and reduce employee burnout. So, in my personal case at the pool, if I had been more involved in the decision-making processes, like deciding how many guards should be on duty each shift, this would have helped tremendously. Because one of the major factors that led to this burnout was the long and extended hours when you were forced to be fully focused out in the heat. If my supervisors had allowed me to be a part of this decision-making process, I would have recommended that we have more guards on duty each shift to allow for more rotations and a little bit more time out of the heat throughout the day. Overall, the themes and burnouts and stressors in this case are so important to learn because employees' health and work satisfaction should be the number one priority in order to produce optimal level service or products. And if this organizational communication is not good, it will lead to burnout like it did for me. In the end, although stressors caused me to burn out and not want to continue working at my past job, the practical solution of including employees in decision making will reduce burnout rates in this case. This is something that is widely used today and can most definitely be implemented to my particular case. Oftentimes, you're not alone in dealing with stressors and having feelings of burnout within the workplace. So, communication with your supervisors and coworkers is key to maintaining satisfaction with your current occupation. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoyed my presentation.